All right, guys, so today I'm going to talk about how to execute the bench press properly, okay? And this is the pause bench press. Now, when you're executing the bench, there's a few things you want to think about. First off, you want the bar height to be, let's just say, if you were to straighten out your hands when laying down on the bench, you want the bar to cross your wrist, okay? If it's crossing your palms, it's too high, okay? Racking and unracking the weight is going to feel uncomfortable and be dangerous. So make sure the bar is crossing your wrist. With that said, you're going to want to retract your shoulders, so pinch your shoulder blades and then depress the shoulders down, which is going to engage your lats. Okay, which is the main antagonist muscle, and you want them to be tight. You want to make sure your whole entire backside is as tight as possible because that is your base. That's your base to press from. The more tight it is, the more stable it's going to feel in your hands. Okay, so I tell my clients to pinch their shoulder blades together and squeeze their glutes, okay, because that's your main base. And then with your legs, it's a little different for everyone. First off, I like having wide knees because it allows me to squeeze my glutes a little bit harder. So having wide knees is going to open up your hips a little bit more, but if you have tight hip flexors, it's not going to feel too good, okay? So it's going to be different for everyone, but I try to go as wide as I can with my knees comfortably without my hip flexors locking up. So having wide knees on your bench press stance will allow your toes, or at least your feet, to externally rotate outward. So basically, my heels are closer together and my toes are outward. And like I said before, that's going to allow me to squeeze my glutes and my hamstrings a little bit harder. But like I said, that's going to be different for everyone. You guys kind of got to do that on your own and figure that out yourselves. Once you figure out your setup, then you're going to move to your grip width, okay? Now, I personally like having a closer grip simply because it creates a longer range of motion. It's a little bit safer on the shoulder as well. And I honestly think your close grip should be just as strong as your wide grip, and I know guys like Brian Alsrud believe the same. Once you get your grip, you're going to want to grip the bar as hard as possible and slightly internally rotate your hands inward because that's going to put the bar in the deepest part of your palms. It's going to allow you to squeeze the bar as hard as possible, and you're in a favorable position when your arms are internally rotated slightly. This is not for beginners, but if you are an advanced person, I think you know what I'm talking about. Now that we got the grip down, we're going to execute the lift off. Now, obviously, if you don't have a spotter, you're going to be doing this yourself. Now, since the height of the JPEGs is at the appropriate height, since we already talked about this, the lift off should be nice and easy. You should just basically lock out your elbows and the bar should come off the JPEGs. Now, you're going to bring the bar directly above your shoulder joint, not above your sternum. A lot of people bring that bar way too far in front, okay? The bench press is going to have a bar path of an arc. It's not going to be a straight line. So with that being said, the barbell is going to be above your shoulders. You should start the range of motion by tucking your elbows inward and bringing the barbell into your sternum upper ab area. Now, it's going to be different for everyone depending on the grip. The closer you go with your grip, the lower you'll have to go on your sternum upper ab area, okay? Once you hit that sweet spot with the bar, you're going to let the bar sink and pause. Once the bar comes to a complete stop, you're going to explode and think about pressing straight up and letting your elbows flare outward at the top of the range of motion. Flaring your elbows outward towards the lockout will allow that lockout to be a lot easier, and it'll bring that bar back to shoulder joint level. One other advanced tip about leg drive is when you are at that dead pause at the bottom of the bench, you want to make sure you're thinking about engaging your glutes and pushing yourself with your feet back towards where the spotter would be standing. You're obviously not going to move on the bench, but that's where you want to think about pressing. You want to think about pressing that barbell up, but not only up, but back kind of towards the JPEGs. But obviously, you don't want to over-exaggerate pushing it back. But that, you want to keep that mental cue in the back of your mind, okay? And that's how you incorporate proper leg drive. Now, one thing I do notice with a lot of novice lifters is that people tend to lose tightness towards the end of their sets. So say they're doing an 8-rep set. towards the 4th or 5th rep, I see the upper back start to protract forward and round. Obviously, you do not want that to happen. You want to keep those shoulder blades pinched throughout the whole entire set. If that means taking an extra second just to reset your shoulder blades in between a rep, then go for it, because it's only going to keep that shoulder healthy and safe. Another thing, just like with every other compound lift, take a deep breath in between every rep, or every other rep if you choose to do, 2 reps at a time. I like doing every rep because I get my full brace, and it's just I'm able to stay tight and every rep is executed perfectly. Okay, so take that deep breath and make sure you tighten up your whole entire midsection and your backside. Okay, that's all I got for today. I hope this tutorial was informative, and I hope you guys get a lot out of it. Thanks for watching.